My little holly jolly ass. Let me chill. Let me chill. Right? All right. So what was I about to say? All right. Daily Reload, Part 13, Storytime Edition. Yes, I'm bringing the story times back. I'm bringing them back. Why's my neck like? All right. Hold on. Let me move up. Let me move up. For people say I got bad posture. I'm bringing them back. I promise. Right? And this story, I'm giving y'all a school story. I'm giving y'all a story that happened way back in like second grade, third grade. Like we're going back, right? This story is about how crooked my school was and how crooked the teachers were. How how a teacher really cheated me out of my lunch, right? So little context, I'm going on TikTok, I'm scrolling, I get to a TikTok where Leland from RDC talks about how his teacher was always going out her way to get him in trouble or whatever, right? So that made me remember a story that I had with a teacher. She wasn't even a teacher. Yo, she was like a lunch aide. Like I don't even know how to explain it, bro. But like, let me tell y'all. Let me put y'all in game, right? So basically, my school was a bad school. Like, hold up, wait a minute. All right, look. Wait, is this it? Is this it? No, wait. Um, New Jersey, Gloucester Township. Wait, what? Oh my God, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. Wait, Lord, oh wait, the principal is still there. Shout out my nigga, bruh. Shout out my nigga. What was the name of the school? Oh my God, I forgot the name of my school. I just Google searched my middle school. But I went to school back in elementary where my school was bad. If I ever remember during the story, I'm dropping everything I'm saying. I'm Googling. I have to show y'all. Y'all, it is one of those things where you have to see it to believe it. My school was bad to the point where it was so bad the school just the county or whatever whoever managed the school like basically cut all the funding and made that school into an all only or only all or whatever the fuck I'm talking about. Basically, they cut budget cuts or whatever or something, and then the school turned out to be a all kindergarten school. That's how bad it was. Like they couldn't handle the students there, so they just said, "Fuck it, we're gonna make this a kindergarten all school, kindergarten only school," right? So this takes place second or third grade. I remember because the kids were so bad. Think about just like a cage full of fucking monkeys jumping and shit, fucking bloodthirsty, fucking banging on the doors and shit. That's how the fucking kids in my school were. I don't know how I survived. I just kept my head down. I'm ducking. I'm like I'm not gonna say I'm ducking smoke, but if you come to me with smoke, especially if you're a teacher, I don't want the smoke. I'm gonna be real. I don't want the smoke, bro. There's better things, bro. Cause the punishments they give out in those schools don't make sense, right? So I remember, and our lunch period was weird. Our lunch period was divided by your grade in the upper grades, and what I mean by the upper grades is that I went to an elementary school where it was kindergarten through eighth grade, so it was elementary and middle schoolers in the same school. So the middle schoolers they would usually have lunch first before the elementary school students, I think. So 10 minutes before their lunch period ended or 5 minutes before their lunch period ended, the elementary school students will come into the cafeteria. So we'll always see those guys while they were going out, right? And the same with us. I guess the other grades will come in 10 minutes, 5 minutes before we left out. So, sometimes basically we would kind of all share like a little lunch period with each other sometimes. So I remember because the kids were so bad there, the lunch people called on us by our tables to get our lunch, and whatever table you were decided what time you would get your lunch. So we would go by groups or whatever. Table alpha, table beta 6, like weird shit like that. It didn't make sense. It really didn't. So we would I keep saying so. I'm excited to tell this story because this is new in my memory, like new memory unlocked type new, like for real. So we would get our lunch. Finally, my table got our lunch, and we got our lunch like 10 minutes before the lunch period ended. Which, when you're a kid, you're gonna fuck around. You're gonna throw rubber bands and shit at fucking Sabrina. Bree over there. Let me go pop her with a fucking rubber band, just on some dickhead shit. Oh, who that? That Michael? That's Michael. I'm gonna smack Michael in the back of the head just on some, like, you feel, kids just gonna do kid stuff, you feel me? So we got our lunch and no one at the table finished their food. Like no one, right? I remember that, and I remember people were upset, bro. So, and I was upset too. So I told my mom on the car ride home that they didn't let it. All right, I could have worded this better. But I told my mom they didn't let us eat our food at lunch. Instead, I told her they didn't let us eat our food at lunch. So you think about old me was a liar. I'm a scammer. I was the type of kid where I was hiding report cards. Yes, I did. I hid a report card once. Got caught, but it you know, I was lying. Anytime any letter got sent home with me, either that shit was getting ripped up or that shit was getting buried, bruh. Like, straight, I was one of those kids, yo. Like, I was one of those kids where it didn't matter what it was. If anyone had anything from that school has something to say about me to my mom, bro, it was not good, bro. I was one of those, for real. Thank God I changed my ways, because I'm too old to be getting my ass whooped. So, anyway, I told my mom, and my mom started flipping out, and she had one of those crash outs that all moms have, where she crashes out on someone else to their kid. Like, she crashed out about the school to me, and I wasn't even in trouble. I literally asked her, am I in trouble? She said no. She wasn't angry at me, but she was yelling at the school about me, in the car, like, to me in the car. Like, I don't know, right? So anyway, she called up the school and she started yelling at them or whatever, and I'm in the back seat, and I'm just thinking in my mind, like, oh my god, yo, what did I do? I let this crash out loose on the street. She's gonna terrorize people, right? So another thing I did not tell y'all is that the lunch period, so our lunch got controlled by 3 people, 3 teachers or whatever. One teacher was named Miss Angie. Miss Angie, fuck you. You know you wrong. You wrong. You wrong. Another one, I forgot, and a light-skinned girl. And the thing about these 3 people is that they were all fat. Like, it didn't make sense. But you know what you signed up for when you go to the school like that, right? So Miss Angie, the next day, she had a surprise for me, because I guess she was the one watching the students. She was the head teacher for all those students. And I guess when my mom called the school, it got her in trouble because she was the head, right? So she had a surprise for me. So I can't remember. This is where the story gets kind of fuzzy, because I can't really remember. Either I got in line and I got my lunch first before everyone, or Miss Angie came into the line and made it to where I got my food before everyone. So anyway, I'm going, either way, I got my food before everyone. So I'm going back to the table, I'm walking off. I'm not thinking none of it, because, kids, one thing about kids in general is that they don't think about the aftermath of what they do. They don't. Unless it's something that has something to do with them getting their ass whooped. But they don't think about, they're not going to think about what's the cost of my actions right now. They're not going to think about that, right? So, me, I'm not thinking about it, right? I got my food, or whatever. So Miss Angie, this is her way of getting back at me, and Miss Angie, to this day, I'm telling you, this light is in my face. I can't, yo, Miss Angie, to this day, please, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong for this. You are wrong for this. And if I was smart enough, if I was a smart kid back then, I would have told my mom, and I would have made her wail on your bitch ass straight up. Like you're so wrong for this. You're wrong. You're so wrong. But Miss Angie pulled me aside. No, she came up to the table. She said, "Oh, so you want to tell your mom? I almost got fired. You, a table by yourself, eat lunch by yourself, and you got 5 minutes." Fat yo, I swear I'm not making this up. She literally gave me 5 minutes to eat my lunch, and she made me sit by myself. Now, here, remember when I said that the other grades would leave when we got to the cafeteria? That means the cafeteria, alright. I'm not giving y'all enough context, but I'm talking. So let me give y'all that context, right? So, okay. Imagine this phone, right? This phone is the cafeteria, right? You see how this cafeteria, fuck it. You see how this cafeteria is you see how this cafeteria is shaped like a rectangle, right? So imagine there's a line that splits the rectangle, right? A line that goes down the center, right? And on this side is the lower grades with my grades. Like they're probably got like first, second grade, third grade, all on this side, right? And this side was the middle school grades. You know, they got like 6th, 7th, 8th grade, whatever, right? And this line splits it down the middle. But these grades, all the people on this side are gone. But the other people on this side are still here. So she made me get up from my side with all the population, all the people, all the friends in the world, and made me go on the other side of the cafeteria where there's fucking nothing and God knows what. And I had to sit there like a good little boy, like literally, bro. I'm on this side and I couldn't move, bro. Like I had to stay on this side with no one, with nothing, bro. That may not seem like a punishment for real, but back then, bro, that was like it was the equivalent of taking someone that was born in the 2000s and putting them in the corner for like 10 minutes. Like I felt like I just did like 100 years in the pen, straight up, bro. Like when I came out that side, I did not come out the same, bro, for real. But yeah, bro, after this, the thing, I didn't even tell my mom because I wasn't smart, but those are one of the punishment. Those are one of the things where all right, put it like this. Back then, growing up in a school like that, when you had to go to school in a school like that, back then growing up, like in a school like that, there's some things that like you couldn't fight. Like you couldn't argue with some people. You couldn't fight some things. You just had to let it happen. Now I'm not saying that I'm not saying that I let everything happen. Like if someone like comes up to me, smacks it, like my fucking chocolate milk out my hand, I'm not letting that slide. But when it came to the teachers and the rules of the school, you had to let it happen, bro. You had to, because there was no way around it. Those punishments, I'm telling you, though, bro. I'm telling you, those punishments in that school were like, they were not meant for kids, yo. Whoever, those, yo, I don't know. Right? So, I got another quick story. Basically, I got lunch for free. I always got lunch for free. And if you don't know how to get lunch for free, there's a form you have to fill out. I don't know how it works in other states, but in New Jersey, In New Jersey, there's a form that you fill out. Your parents have to give the state or tell the district, or they have to tell someone, the county or something like that, how much you make a year, and they gotta give you, your parents gotta give your out their job bank statements or something. I don't know. So they have to give something out to prove that they make a certain amount of money, and in return of them making that money, the school will give you free lunch because they feel sorry for you because you're broke. But I'm joking. But I remember I always got free lunch, and I remember a letter got sent home with me. And like I said before, troublesome kid. If a letter ever got sent home with me, I was not showing my mom. I was like, I couldn't, because like I said before, anytime my name got mentioned to my mom, it was bad news, bro. I'm telling you, like, it wasn't worth it. It was not worth it, bro. Like, yo, the word punishment is a household name in my mind, bro. Straight up, yo. Straight up. Like, literally. But I remember a letter got home, and I didn't really know what the letter was. I just hid it. But I came to the realization I hid it in a drawer where we had a lot of letters. And one day my mom would find it. So either I had the options. Either I just give her the letter, I open it and see what the letter is, or she finds the letter, found out I hid it, and she puts B2A on my A. And I'm not going for that. I'm not. Right? So I just gave her the letter, and it said I owed like $300-$400 in lunch, like lunch bills, and that wasn't right because I got lunch for free. So my mom called the school. I thought they had it sorted out. I really did, right? Until I pulled up to school the next day, right? So the next day, I'm thinking everything is fine because I'm kind of selfish. I think about myself a lot, but I'm thinking everything is fine. So I go up and get lunch, but they didn't give me the normal lunch. They gave me the special lunch. Now, let me tell you what the special lunch is. The special lunch includes the special lunch is a green carton of white milk, some plain white bread, not even toasted, just flabbery, flippy white bread, and cheese. Like, I'm not talking about any cheese. I'm talking about this. You know the cheese, the flat cheese that come in like the plastic wrap, like the square flat cheese. That cheese, and they said, slap it on the bread. They didn't even give me a second. They gave me one piece of bread, not even two. I couldn't even make a cheese sandwich with that. One piece of bread, and they said, here. They literally fed me jail food. Jail food. They literally fed me jail food. Milk, bread, and cheese. I'm bless his soul, but I'm eating food like I'm Jesus. Like they're treating me like I'm eating like I'm Gandhi. Like, what? Bread and cheese? Y'all could even grill it to make it a grilled cheese? Like, bro, no. And I remember all my friends gathered around because they were just like, at this point, they switched up to me. They're just like, look at this fucking loser eating bread and cheese. Fuck that nigga, right? So they gathered around me, and I remember I opened the milk and I poured it onto the tray, and that shit was green and fucking chunky. Niggas treat me like I'm in prison, but that's just two stories of my school doing me wrong, bro. I want to talk about more, but this video is getting to 20 minutes. We're like at 19 minutes and 40 seconds, so I'm ending it. Love y'all. You know, socials right here, right now. So that's it. And get to the 20-minute mark. Three, two, one. All right. This is it. This is it. J.C. Stewart Elementary. I guess they turned it into a development center. What? I don't even know. What is that? Is that like a place for like bad kids, or is that like a elementary school? Look at all these kids. They don't even know. Yeah, I feel bad. They don't even know what they're getting themselves into. Good luck. If you go to this school, good luck. I remember these doors right here. This is teachers are these doors. When the teachers caught your parents, they coming out these doors. Y'all don't even know. Y'all don't even know.